The real estate industry is praying that you never learn that the whole title and escrow process is simpler than assembling Swedish furniture, and you absolutely don't need a law degree or a real estate agent to understand it. Most for sale by owner sellers imagine title and escrow as some mystical ritual involving robed figures chanting Latin over property deeds. Reality check. It's more like having a really organized friend manage the paperwork while you focus on packing boxes. The professionals handling your file aren't wizards. They're translators who happen to speak both regular human and legal document really fluently. And think about the last time you bought something really expensive online. You probably used PayPal or a credit card, and that's basically escrow for your couch purchase. But now we're just scaling up to the house size transaction with a few more safety rails. The fundamentals, they stay remarkably similar. Someone neutral holds the money until everyone delivers what they promised. What really trips people up isn't the complexity. It's the industry's addiction to 19th century vocabulary. Nobody needs to say encumbrance when stuff attached to your property works perfectly fine. So today, I'm going to translate this entire process into the language that, we normal human beings actually speak at backyard barbecues. Stop thinking title work requires 3 years of night school, because here's the 60-second version that covers 90% of what matters. Title companies dig through property records to confirm that you actually own what you're selling and to check for surprise liens hiding in the paperwork. Meanwhile, escrow agents act like a trusted referee holding everybody's money and documents until all contract conditions get satisfied. Think of title as the fact checker and think of escrow as the handshake enforcer. Your only job is asking good questions and providing documents when requested. The professionals, they handle the legal and paperwork archaeology digs. You just need to understand the findings that they present. Now, your transaction team, consisting of those two main players, are going to have really distinct methods that they go through. Your title researchers are going to comb through the county records, kind of like detectives investigating your property's past lives. You're hunting for unpaid taxes or old mortgages that are attached to the property, all the things that should have been released, or angry contractors with liens on your property, or maybe that time your neighbor's fence accidentally claimed 6 inches of your yard. Escrow officers, on the other hand, are going to manage the exchange mechanics. They're the adults in the room who are making sure that nobody hands over the keys until the check clears. Now, here's something fascinating about property history. Every house has a story chain stretching back decades or even centuries. Your 1950s ranch, it might have started out life as farmland, and then it got subdivided during something called suburbanization, and then it changed hands through 3 divorces. It survived a tax auction and accumulated, 17 different utility easements. Title companies untangle this jumbled mess and they present you with a cleaned up version. It's kind of like those house flipping shows, but for paperwork instead of bathrooms. Speaking of paperwork archaeology, let me decode the industry's favorite mystical terms. Abstract, it's just a summary of your property's recorded history. It's basically the Cliff's Notes version. The chain of title lists every owner in order. So it's sort of like tracking a baseball card from the original pack to your collection. Cloud on title, or clouded title, it means something is blocking a clean sale. Maybe Great Aunt Mildred's estate never properly transferred ownership 30 years ago. I don't know. If you're struggling to decode title jargon, just stop nodding along when they're talking and use these 3 question scripts instead. The first question is, could you explain that in everyday language? This gets you the translation immediately. The second thing you could ask is, does this affect our closing or is it just background information? This is going to separate the must-fix title items from nice-to-know trivia to something, hey, we need to get this fixed. The third question you should ask is, what exactly do you need from me and when? This is going to clarify action items with deadlines. The bonus move here is to email these questions before your first call with the title company so they know what you expect and that you expect it in plain English. Most title officers secretly appreciate clients who ask for clarity. It prevents those weird panicked Friday afternoon phone calls about missing documents that nobody mentioned needing right before closing. Now, let's talk money without the mystery. Your settlement statement might look like a phone book of fees, but each line serves a specific purpose and it's important that you know what they are. Recording fees go to the county for updating their big book of who owns what. The title insurance protects against missed problems. Think of that as an apology fund if they somehow overlooked your property's secret past like it was a toxic waste dump. Courier fees cover secure document delivery because nobody wants closing papers floating around in regular mail. The beautiful thing about transparency on the fees is how quickly the confusion evaporates once you assign each line item a job. So that random looking $75 e-recording fee, it's really just paying somebody to digitally file your deed at the courthouse so you don't have to stand in line behind 17 people renewing their fishing licenses. Or that $35 release tracking fee, that ensures your old mortgage company gets properly marked as paid so it doesn't haunt your credit report forever. Now, settlement timing is often something that surprises first-timers who expect, a sort of Amazon Prime speed from government offices. Title searches typically need about 2 to 4 weeks to be conducted because researchers have to verify everything through multiple databases, and some are still using filing systems from the Carter administration. If your property has quirks like multiple parcels or recent boundary disputes or creative previous owners who tried DIY legal work, you can easily add another week for this all to be untangled. 3 ways to decode your settlement statement in under 10 minutes without an accounting degree is to first grab a highlighter and mark anything over $100. These are your focus fees that are worth understanding. Second, ask your closer to walk through the buyer versus seller column split since the columns vary wildly by location. In some states, sellers pay title insurance. In others, buyers cover it. In Texas, they split everything because it's Texas. Third, I want you to request a statement 2 days before closing to catch surprises while there's still time to question them. And here's a quick pro insight. Fees that are labeled miscellaneous or additional, they deserve immediate investigation. Legitimate charges have real names. Now, wire fraud deserves its own spotlight because criminals have gotten frighteningly sophisticated. They will hack email accounts, they will watch for real estate transactions, and then they will send fake wiring instructions that look exactly like legitimate ones, except the account number routes to some untraceable offshore account. So your title company's paranoid-seeming verification process where they have encrypted portals and callback requirements and photo ID uploads, it's not just theater designed to make your life hell. It's protecting your life savings from genuinely clever thieves. Smart sellers are going to treat wiring instructions like nuclear launch codes. Never trust regular mail for account numbers. Always call the title company directly using a phone number that you found yourself, not one that was emailed to you. And if anybody sends updated wiring instructions, I want you to treat that like you just found a scorpion in your shoe. I want you to assume danger until it's been proven otherwise. Some companies now even use verification questions like you would only know. Now, the relationship between you and your title officer is going to determine whether closing feels like a root canal or a birthday party. Good title officers are going to communicate proactively. They're going to send updates before you ask, and they're going to explain requirements before they're urgent. They'll tell you up front about potential delays, like waiting for that HOA estoppel letter that moves at the speed of congressional legislation. Bad ones are just going to ghost you for weeks and then suddenly need 17 documents by noon tomorrow. Here's how smart sellers avoid the closing week scramble without breaking a sweat. 2 weeks before your target date, you're going to email your title officer asking for 3 things: a complete list of what they need from you, confirmation that all lender requirements have been identified and satisfied, and any yellow flags that might delay closing. 1 week out, I want you to confirm your wiring amount, and I want you to review the preliminary settlement statement for any surprises. 3 days before, I want you to verify your possession terms and that they match what the buyer expects. Nothing ruins closing day faster than confusion about who gets keys and when. This timeline is going to keep everybody aligned, and it's going to prevent those awful last-minute fire drills. Document preparation varies wildly between title companies. Premium operations are going to prepare most things digitally, and they're going to let you review documents online before you even close. And they could even offer mobile notaries who come to your kitchen table instead of you having to venture out to them. Budget shops might hand you a stack of papers at closing and point to the signature lines while you're still trying to figure out which pen works. The price difference between these experiences is often so negligible, like, $50, that you should always shop based on service, not just cost. One underappreciated title company service is problem prevention through early detection. The experienced processors are going to spot issues during the initial review, and these issues can derail closing 3 weeks later. Maybe your divorce decree has a specific language in it about property sales, or your home equity line needs formal closure with a zero balance. These aren't roadblocks if they're caught early, but they can really screw things up royally if you wait too long. It's important that your title company has these items on a checklist. Which brings us to the human element, because this matters enormously in title and escrow. You want somebody who answers their phone and that they respond to emails within minutes or hours, but not days. You want them to treat your transaction like it matters. So it's important that you interview 3 companies before you choose who you're going to work with. Ask them how many for sale by owner transactions they've handled, what their typical response time is, and whether they provide a single point of contact or if they're just going to shuffle you between departments. But with all of that said, no matter who's giving them to you, I want you to remember that you never, ever accept wiring instructions without this 5-minute safety check that could save your entire sale. Step 1, only accept instructions through the title company's secure portal and never through regular email or, God forbid, a text. Step number 2, I want you to independently verify that the account numbers you've given are accurate by calling the title company's main phone number that you Googled yourself. Step 3, and this is like extra safe, but send a test wire of $100 first if your bank allows that. And then step number 4, screenshot every confirmation and receipt that happens from that wire. Step 5, if anything seems weird, like a different account that was inspected or urgent pressure to wire immediately or instructions arriving from an unusual email address, just stop everything and call the title companies, because criminals are betting that you're going to feel too embarrassed to verify or too silly, and I want you to prove them wrong and win in the end. Now, choosing between title companies or real estate attorneys or combination packages depends entirely on your state's requirements, your customs, and also your comfort level. Some states mandate attorney involvement and others forbid it, actually, unless you're a party's legal representative. And still a few more kind of let you choose your own adventure. It's important that you research your local requirements before assuming anything. For example, Wisconsin and Texas, they have completely different playbooks despite both involving property ownership transfer. Quick military-grade wisdom from my past life: redundancy prevents disasters. That's why good title companies check everything twice. They require verification callbacks, and they maintain paper trails like they're preparing for congressional hearings. Your paranoia tolerance, it might feel maxed out by closing day, but every security step exists because somebody somewhere learned an expensive lesson. Now, something that deserves mention here is the psychology of closing day. You're going to sign approximately 11 billion documents. You're going to initial countless pages, and you're going to wonder if you've accidentally agreed to donate a kidney. Most signatures are variations of, yes, I am really me, and yes, I really want to sell my home, and yes, I really, really, really want to just be done with this. Your hand is going to cramp, so bring your favorite pen. Maybe bring 2 pens. The title officer has seen people cry and laugh and occasionally break into a spontaneous dance at the closing table, especially when it's all over. Whatever emotion hits you, just know it's probably completely normal. Remember, title and escrow professionals, they handle dozens of transactions every week. So your complicated situation probably ranks as a typical Tuesday on their difficulty scale. Those liens from your bathroom renovation are standard, or the boundary dispute with your neighbor's petunias, they've seen worse. The fact that your house was allegedly haunted by a circus clown in 1987, that might be a new one, but it's irrelevant to title because it just probably made their day more interesting. And the next time someone tells you for sale by owner sellers can't handle title and escrow complexity, I want you to remind them that you successfully navigated health insurance enrollment and tax returns and even assembling children's toys on Christmas Eve. So compared to those challenges, understanding title and escrow is practically recreational. So now that we've defanged the title and escrow process into plain English, it's important that we protect the after party. The number one FSBO horror story is not closing day. It's actually about 8 months later when some attorney finds that one blank line that you missed on a disclosure. So click on this video and I'm going to show you how to disarm the top 5 legal bombs hidden in every home sale. Spending some time here is going to ensure that we make this story happily ever after.